So here's my take on Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. Now, this fight took place over the weekend, and I did watch the fight live. It was a very entertaining fight. Thank God I watched it. Great fight from start to finish. Okay, long story short, Andy Ruiz won the fight. It went to the judges' scorecard, something I don't like to see in heavyweight boxing, but it did. It did have 3 knockdowns, all by Andy Ruiz, 2 in the second round and 1 in the 7th round. So out of this fight, I want to talk about a couple things. First off, the level of skill that I saw in this fight was very impressive. Luis Ortiz is a southpaw, and Andy Ruiz is just an orthodox fighter. But the way Andy Ruiz handled Luis Ortiz was something I've never seen before. Granted, Luis Ortiz is old, but he is still a very, very challenging fighter, especially because he's a southpaw. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that Andy Ruiz keeps punching people on the side of the head or the back of the head. I mean, I kind of don't like it. Kind of looks like dirty boxing, but it is very effective. Andy Ruiz can generate a good amount of power from very close distance. He doesn't need to wind up his shots, and his hands are quick. So he did get Luis Ortiz, again, 3 times in this fight. And kudos to Luis Ortiz for getting up. It just goes to show how strong of a chin, or I guess a head, Luis Ortiz has. And then again, it kind of connects to Deontay Wilder and goes to show how strong of a puncher Deontay Wilder is, because Deontay Wilder knocked this guy out with 1 punch after Luis Ortiz was winning pretty much all the rounds. All right, so I'm talking about Andy Ruiz and I guess his dirty boxing tactics, which he used against Anthony Joshua, which kind of ultimately led him to winning the fight. He did this against Luis Ortiz, but it kind of didn't work in the sense that Luis Ortiz did not get disoriented throughout the entire fight. The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that in the United States now, I would say Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz are the top of the food chain when it comes to boxing skills. All-round boxer with a good amateur pedigree coming into the heavyweight and really putting a name for themselves. I think those are the 2 boxers in the United States that are, up there. Granted, you don't typically have that in the United States. You usually have the sort of boxers in Europe, and then you have sort of the boxer brawlers in the United States, or the people that really have the punching power. But now it's a little bit of a mixed bag, because in Europe right now, the top of the food chain obviously is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a boxer, bar none. He's a boxer. But now he's actually using his power, right? He does have power. In his last 2 fights, he did knock the 2 people out. He knocked Dillian White, and then he knocked Deontay Wilder out. So Tyson Fury is kind of like everything, right? And then you have Alexander Usyk, who's a welterweight, who, I mean, in my opinion, he's a welterweight. I don't think he's a heavyweight. But he is a boxer, full-on boxer, high ring IQ, high boxing IQ, one of the best footworks ever. And then his hands are also fast. I'd say they're as fast as Andy Ruiz, if not maybe even faster. So those are the 2 people you have there in Europe. And I'd add Joseph Parker, because Andy Ruiz lost to Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is a good boxer who lost to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is kind of a balance. He's not like in the level of Tyson Fury, but he's a boxer, and he also has the power, but not as powerful as Deontay Wilder. So that's kind of what's going on in the heavyweight realm right now. It's like almost a mishmash of different types of talents. And the sad thing about it is that these heavyweight boxers don't fight as often as I wish they did, right? Luis Ortiz is getting older. I think he claims to be 43, but people say he's closer to 50. regardless, he is still a force to contend with, but it would be nice to see Luis Ortiz fight other heavyweights, right? So we know how good he is. I would like to see Luis Ortiz fight Usyk, because these are two southpaws. It would be amazing. I want to see Andy Ruiz fight Tyson Fury, That might happen because Deontay Wilder is fighting Hellenius next month, who is also from Europe, who is sort of a boxer. He does have power, but he's more of a boxer. So the winner of that fight will fight Andy Ruiz. And if Andy Ruiz wins, whoever wins that fight, he could ultimately fight Tyson Fury. So yeah, that's my rant. If you like this channel, you like the content, you're a boxing fan, like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, guys. Cheers.